Shutting off your opponent's abilities are one of the most satisfying things to achieve in the Pokemon trading card game, and usually if you can shut off your opponent's abilities, they won't be drawing cards, and if they're not drawing cards, they're not going to be winning the game. And that's why I love Aerodactyl V-Star. It's an ancient star, but just one colorless energy shuts off all the abilities of Pokemon V in Pokemon V-Star. So just think of all the powerful V and V-Stars in format that love to use their abilities. Like, what does Luigi V-Star do if it cannot summon its stars and get its Archeops down? Or what does a Mew VMAX player do if they cannot fill up their hand every turn with Fusion Strike system? So Aerodactyl V-Star is just simply very powerful in the current standard format. A weakness it does have is it does not shut off the abilities of non-rulebox Pokemon. So those Comphase, Radiant Greninja just can still use their abilities and fill up their hand, and this strategy will just not slow them down at all. So we're playing 4 Klefkis in this deck as well, because that mischievous lock can shut down the abilities of all basic Pokemon when Klefki's in the active spot. So the one thing about Aerodactyl is its damage is respectable, doing 240, but it's not going to be very efficient getting through single prizers. Lost-setting 3 cards is just not very convenient. Like, if you're playing against a single prize deck, you'll have to take 6 knockouts to win, and then you'll have to be lost-setting 18 cards, so that is just pretty impractical. So to go alongside our Aerodactyl, we're playing 3/3 line of Arceus V-Star. And Arceus is just awesome because in games where we do not use Ancient Star, we can use Starbirth to set up our deck that way, and then also Trinity Nova can load up our Aerodactyls and just so we can start swinging with Lost Dive. Fighting is a very important weakness to be hitting because it also hits any electric Pokemon like Regieleki VMAX or Arceus V-Stars for weakness. And 240 damage just on that Lost Dive is very respectable, one-shotting basically all basic Pokemon EX and most basic Pokemon Vs. So here's the list we'll be working with today. I saw this deck pop up in the top 16 of the Milwaukee Regional Championships with a couple other placements scattered across day 2. I thought Iono was a huge gain for this deck. Like, if your opponent takes out a Klefki in the early game, then they take out 2 Pokemon V-Stars, you can Iono them down to 1 card, have a very chunky 280 HP V-Star right in their face, plus ability lock with Pass the Peak or Ancient Star. It seems like a pretty huge gain for the deck. We're loading up with Hand Disruption with 3 Judge and 3 Ionos. I also have 2 Colress and 2 Professor's Research for draw. Professor's Research when we just want that hard discard draw to get through the deck, and Colress if we're like trying to maintain key pieces. We don't want to disrupt our opponent's hand, but we have several Paths to Peaks or energies that we don't want to discard. We can just play Colress and fill up our hand that way. This deck's also loading up on Ballster. Like, we want to either pivot back into Klefki on the first turn, or get both our Aerodactyls down, get our Arceus down. Like, we just want to make sure we set up. Playing 4 Battle VIP Pass because it's critical we get our guys down in the very first turn. 4 Ultra Balls because we have to be able to find our Stage 1 Pokemon, and also Ultra Ball's amazing. You just every deck's playing Ultra Ball practically, aside from Lost Inbox. We're also splashing in 2 Nest Balls. It's imperative that we set up all of our evolving Pokemon on the first turn, pivot into Klefki. It's also just in that Lost Inbox matchup very important that you get 2 Klefkis down, because you can put one in the active spot, but most Lost Zone box decks are playing 4 escape ropes. So even if you just get 1 Klefki, it's not that unlikely that they have an escape rope in their hand, and then they can just pivot your Klefki to the bench and start using their flower selectings and get going. So it's very important that we set up with this deck. Now on that same note, we're playing 3 Trekking Shoes. Of course, I'd like a 4th, but just being able to dig through the deck with an item card, find those annoying cards like Pass to the Peak, just making sure we set up, just consistency is so important in the Pokemon trading card game, so making sure you have enough of it is just always amazing. We're running 2 switches and 1 escape rope because our V-Stars do have 2 retreats, so getting through them can be quite tricky, especially if we want to be getting to that Klefki on the very first turn. We don't necessarily want to be hard retreating with our double turbo energies if we don't have to. Of course, we're playing 4 Path to the Peak because Ancient Star does not shut off everything. It won't shut off the abilities of Pokemon EX, so like a Gardevoir is not going to be shut off by it, so we can drop that Path to the Peak, combine it with a Judge and Iono, and still shut off all abilities that way. And then finally for the energy cards, I'm playing 6 Fighting Energy, of course 4 Double Turbos because both of our guys need to have those 2 colorless in their attack cost, and 3 V-Guard Energies just to add a little extra tankiness to our Pokemon, giving our Arceus like 310 HP. It's just pretty amazing all around. So yeah, once again, here is the full list of my deck. I would say it's definitely improved after probably evolved. Just the addition of Iono is definitely helpful. I am a bit skeptical on how the Chin-Pao match is going to be. Of course, Chin-Pao does not respect early game hand pressure. It just wants to make sure it has a ton of cards to be able to accumulate its energies, its Baxcalibur. So while Ancient Star will not be slowing them down, we still can use Starburst to accumulate our pieces and just hopefully slow them down with our Judge plus Path to the Peak spam. If we can open with Clef, he does also just incredibly powerful at shutting off their Radiant Greninja or Chin Pao's abilities. So what do you think of this Arceus Aerodactyl deck? Do you think it has legs in the Paldea Evolve formats, or was it just sort of a one-off from the Milwaukee Regional Championships? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I post Pokemon TCG content every single day, or at least I try to post it every day, but I appreciate all you guys' support lately. We're marching well on our way to 1,000 subscribers, so trying to get there by the end of the year, so just any support is always greatly appreciated. If you made it all the way through the end of this video, you must be a fan of troll or just very annoying decks. And Noivern from Paldea Evolve is another very annoying card with 2 incredibly annoying attacks that just completely shut down your opponent. And luckily for you, I made a deck video going over the best way to play Noivern EX. So since this video is over, you better go check that one out, and I'll see you in the next one.